Lac originates from bugs, and I'm sorry to say that you may have consumed it unknowingly. The natural resin is known as shellac. One of the most intriguing aspects of it is that once heated, cooled, and stretched, it can be utilized in a range of applications, including shining children's candy like jelly beans, preservatives, and even wood finishing. It was discovered in India and was initially used to produce jewelry and decorate palaces. India is the world's largest producer of shellac, with annual exports exceeding $65 million. However, unpredictable harvests and prices have jeopardized this centuries-old industry. So how does a little insect's excretions end up on your children's candy and lemons? Let's find out. The earliest written evidence of shellac dates back 3,000 years, but it has been used before. The Mahabharata, an ancient Indian epic text, describes how a whole castle was created out of dry shellac. Throughout the history of trade with the East Indies, shellac was rarely employed as a dyestuff. Shellac, according to Merrifield, was first used as a binding agent in artists' paints in Spain around 1220. The use of general paint or varnish ornamentation on large pieces of furniture became popular in Venice and subsequently spread throughout Italy, where it has been applied in a variety of ways over the years. Before we continue, we would love you to take a moment to like this video and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already to receive all our latest videos. Shellac is a substance generated by female lac bugs on Indian and Thai forest trees. Chemically, it is mostly composed of aluritic acid, gelaric acid, shellalic acid, and other natural waxes. It is processed and sold as dry flakes before being dissolved in alcohol to make liquid shellac, which is used as a brush-on colorant, food glaze, and wood finish. Shellac is a long-lasting natural primer, sanding sealer, tannin, odor blocker, stain, and high-gloss varnish. Shellac was historically employed in electrical applications because it has strong insulation properties and locks out moisture. Lac harvesting is the process of collecting lac from the host trees. When the lac-encrusted twigs reach maturity, they are clipped. Harvesting can be accomplished in two ways. Number one, immature harvesting. In this case, lac is gathered before swarming. Lac thus formed is known as lac. Lac insects may be destroyed during immature harvesting, resulting in population reduction and significant economic losses for producers. However, Pallas lac, Rangini lac, was shown to produce higher quality milk. Immature harvesting is therefore suggested solely for this lac. Number two, mature harvesting. When lac is collected following swarming, the lac thus obtained is known as mature lac. For ripe lac harvesting, it is critical to know the exact timing of nymph emergence and swarming. A simple visual technique is used for this purpose. Towards crop maturity, a yellow spot appears on the posterior side of the female lac cell. The specks gradually expand forward, eventually covering half of the cell. Twigs can be cut for harvesting at any stage, and the yellow patch takes up 1/3 to 1/2 of the cell area. Sometimes it's best to wait until the first new nymphs appear. Harvesting should only occur when crops have reached maturity. Immature arilac cutting should be avoided, except in Pallas lac. A moderate crop is said to produce nymphs within 7-10 days. So the crop should be harvested during the time frame specified above, before nymphal emergence. If self-inoculation is not required, the entire crop can be harvested. In the case of the Rangini crop, just the lac-encrusted twigs are trimmed, whereas the Kusum crop requires both harvesting and pruning. The collected brood sticks should be used for inoculation as soon as possible. If necessary, store in a shady, well-ventilated environment. Harvesting lac crops at maturity can significantly reduce the brood lac issue while maintaining lac quality. Let's see how a lac is being processed in a finished shellac. Shellac is scraped from the bark of trees and secreted by the female lac beetle, Caria lacca, to construct a tunnel-like tube as it moves through the tree's branches. These tunnels are frequently called cocoons, but they are not cocoons in the entomological sense. This insect belongs to the same superfamily as the cochineal-producing insect. The insects suck the tree's sap and excrete stick lac virtually continually. When insects feed on the kusum tree, they generate the least colored shellac. The number of lac bugs needed to manufacture 1 kilogram of shellac has been estimated between 50,000 and 300,000. The raw shellac comprises bark shavings and lac bugs eliminated during scraping. Lac is scraped from twigs using a knife, and then they should not be exposed to the sun. The superfluous materials are sorted. This lac is regularly cleaned with cold water to eliminate finer dirt and color particles. It is now referred to as seed lac and is dried in the sun. After that, it's inserted in canvas tubes, similar to long socks, and heated over a fire. This causes the shellac to liquefy and ooze out of the canvas, leaving behind the bark and bugs. The thick, sticky shellac is then cured on a flat sheet and broken into flakes or buttons, pucks cakes, which are packaged and sold. The final user crushes it into a fine powder and mixes it with ethanol alcohol before using it to dissolve the flakes and produce liquid shellac. The final form of lac is known as shellac. It takes around 100,000 shellac bugs to produce 1 pound of shellac resin. It's dissolved in denatured ethyl alcohol. Shellac has a light antiseptic odor that quickly fades as the product dries. In addition, unlike oil-based finishes, it is UV resistant and will not yellow or darken over time. It highlights the rich warmth of wood grain. Finished surfaces appear soft and natural, not plastic-coated. In considering the usefulness of this natural resin, it would be best to remember that it is most well known for its application in fine woodworking, where it imparts deep, rich colors and creates long-lasting, non-toxic, high-gloss finishes, such as French polish. This wood finishing technique has a long tradition around across the globe, but it is said to have achieved favor in Europe in the 17th century, when it was applied as a clear coating on imported exotic woods, such as mahogany and satinwood, to protect them while revealing their subtle colors and patterns. Because of their short-term resistance to heat and moisture, hardy nitrocellulose and synthetic furniture polishes surpassed shellac in popularity during the 1920s and 1930s. Unlike synthetic polymers, which chemically and irrevocably cross-link when cured, shellac can be easily mended by repadding with alcohol or additional shellac. Shellac is less well known for its glossy coating on aluminum foil and paper, the shine in shampoo, hairspray, and printing inks, and the food-safe coating on candies, chocolates, and prescription tablets. It is an essential component of the classic French polish technique for finishing furniture, fine string instruments, and pianos. This startling hidden element in our food is frequently disguised as the addition E904 and is found in the hard, glittering shells of chewing gum, jelly beans, and milk duds as confectioner's glaze, as well as on the surface of several fruits, chocolates, and coffee beans. Shellac, like bee honey, is not vegan, hence it is rapidly being replaced with alternatives such as corn protein zyme in products. This adaptable material also provides its name to a particularly hard, glossy, and lasting type of nail polish. Even though this manicure material frequently contains no shellac, the natural resinous beetle-derived polish has simply become a byword for a particularly smooth surface. The global shellac market was valued at USD 167.84 million in 2022, and it is predicted to grow at a CAGR of 2.25% over the forecast period, reaching USD 191.8 million by 2031. Its global market is expected to grow rapidly between 2022 and 2031. The market has been developing steadily since 2022, and with the increasing adoption of strategies by key players, it is predicted to rise throughout the forecast period. However, there appear to be paradoxes, mostly because its manufacture in India has experienced numerous obstacles. For example, thousands of people in Turlan's hamlet rely on shellac for a living, but the price has varied dramatically. Because of production challenges, raising the storied insects has become much more difficult, owing in great part to the climatic crisis. Intensifying rainstorms have wiped lac off tree branches, resulting in fungal infestation. More intense heat is drying off the trees, which are the insect's primary food source. This natural resin is found in confections such as junior mints, jelly beans, candy corn, and whoppers. It is also commonly dissolved in alcohol and sprayed on citrus fruits. The waxy layer wicks moisture away, increasing the fruit's shelf life. And that sheen makes lemons stand out on grocery store shelves. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration accepts it as a food safety additive, as long as it is labeled as shellac or confectioner's glaze on the ingredients list. Before we end this video, we would like you to share your thoughts about shellac in the comments section. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and also to subscribe to this channel to receive all our latest videos. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.